It was really triggered by my grandmother, my dad's mum. She has multi-infarct dementia, and she was in the car with me and my dad one day, and she said, "My friend's missing." And I thought at the time that was really interesting and quite frightening. Anyway, it turned out that her friend was staying with her daughter in another town. I kept wondering what would have happened if she really had been missing, or if my grandmother's dementia had been a bit worse, so that she hadn't been able to retain that answer. And then at the end of that year, my other grandmother, my mum's mum, was dying. So I wrote down every story I could remember her telling me about her early life. And so those two things, the grandmother with dementia and this idea of a missing friend and trying to work out what's going on in her head, and then all these stories from my other grandmother kind of slotted together. One thing that was really useful were the online dementia diaries. They are brilliant because when people are kind of beginning stages of dementia, they get people to log their day. And it told me a lot about how that worked, and how they can laugh at themselves, and also how you can remember forgetting, which seems like such a contradictory thing, but yeah, totally possible to do that. There's an idea that if you have dementia, you can't remember someone being unpleasant to you, so it's okay to be rude to someone with dementia or be nasty to them because they won't remember 2 minutes later. And actually, they found that you may not remember what caused the hurt, but you will carry that around, so you'll be absolutely distraught, but you won't remember why. So
you retain the feeling.
Yes.
And the reaction to what was said without necessarily remembering what actually was said.
Yeah, and that for me was one of those moments I thought, okay, there's more to this than I had realised. And I think, that was interesting anyway, because it says a lot about how humans react to each other. That it's not always, we talk about words being so hurtful, but there's obviously more going on there. And another piece of research that I really was interested by was that quite often people with dementia can hold on to an idea or a memory up until the moment they walk through a door, and then that's gone. And I just think that is really fascinating.
It is somehow with crossing through the doorway.
Yeah, it says a lot about what doorways mean in our culture, I think, as well. So I was really fascinated by that. When I was starting to write the book, part of the reason I was writing it was because I hadn't found much fiction on dementia. There would be little bits. There's an Alice Munro story, and there were a few bits and pieces. I hadn't found anything that was a novel that was really addressing dementia. And then as I was writing the book, that started to become more popular as a kind of genre. In fact, I think it was the Sunday Times in Britain started to talk about this genre of the dementia thriller and stuff.
Oh, really?
So I think, it seems like an obvious place to go for a novelist, because most novels are so much about memory, and obviously dementia is very much bound up with memory. So it seems like an obvious place to go. And I hope that there will be more books that explore the experience of people who are older, because I think that is something that we don't have enough of.